Dear student, I am Dr. Vinod Kumar Advani from Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today we are starting the second part of our practical questions related with computation of goods and services tax. Today we are starting a new topic, that is computation of GST, net GST liability with adjustment of input tax credit, both for the current year and both for the brought forward last period or last any particular period's input tax credit. So, we have today input tax credit ITC under GST. We are going to learn this particular topic with help of a practical example, that is ITC under GST. We have the detail of a particular trader, Kumar Machineries, doing business in Indore, that is MP, and we have the detail of this particular dealers, this particular machinery store for the month of May 2021. We have inter-state purchase, inter-state sell and intra-state purchase and sell of this particular dealer for the month of May 2021. In this particular question, we also have the rates of CGST and SGST, that is 9% and 9%. So, IGST will become 9% plus 9%, it is 18%. In this particular question, with intra-state sales and purchase, interstate sell and purchase, we also have some input tax credit amount brought forward from the previous tax period. We have CGST rupees 15,000, we have SGST rupees 35,000 and we have IGST 20,000. Remember, all these are input tax credit we are carry forwarding from the previous tax period, a month or a year. Now, what we have to do in this question, we have to calculate net GST liability of Kumar Machinery for the month of May 2021. This is the practical question we are going to solve now for the calculation of net GST liability or net GST payment. But dear students, we are not calculating directly the net GST liability. Before starting the calculation of net GST liability, let me explain you the rules for the adjustment of input tax credit. We have to adjust the input tax credit according to the provisions and rules given in GST Act. We cannot adjust any ITC without following proper rules. So, here we have the list of the rules before solution of this particular practical questions. Remember, this particular set of the rule will decide how to adjust the input tax credit related with CGST, SGST and finally the IGST. First of all, I am going to give you the brief of input tax credit of CGST. Suppose we have any input tax credit brought forward that is related with CGST, we can use it for first of all for CGST, after that we can utilize it for IGST. So, first is CGST, next is IGST. Come to SGST, same rule we have here. First it will be utilized for the payment of SGST and after that it can be utilized for IGST. So, it is just like CGST for CGST, after that IGST, SGST first for SGST and after that IGST. Come to the last topic, it is ITC carry forward related with IGST. Now, that is different. How it is different? IGST firstly we have to use for IGST, after that it can be used for CGST and after that if we have any amount that we can use for the calculation of for the deduction of SGST. So, these three rules we have related with the adjustment of input tax credit available. Before starting the solution, let me give you the summary of this entire slide, entire detail. CGST can be used for CGST, SGST can be used for SGST, both after that both can be used for IGST, but IGST it will be for IGST, after that C, and finally it will be for SGST. That is a short rule of input tax credit adjustment for the payment of various GSTs. So, let us start the solution of this particular question on the basis of this set of rule for the recovery and adjustment of ITC. Dear friends, now we have the computation of net GST liability, or you can say net GST payment amount of Kumar Machineries. First of all, we have to calculate the total tax liability, total GST liability of Kumar Machinery Store after adding the sales tax on sales and after deducting the tax on purchase, that is known as input tax credit. So, first of all we have the output tax on intra-state supply. Intra-state supply is 6 lakh and total tax amount for C is 9%, become 54,000, and S become 9%, it is 54,000, and there will be no IGST. So, it is tax on intra-state supply. Same we have inter-state supply also 2 lakh rupees, and on inter-state supply we have the CGST, SGST, no amount, but IGST we have 36,000 rupee because inter-state sell is subject to IGST, subject to IGST. So, now we have total tax liability of this particular dealer, that is related with output, 54,000 C, 54,000 S, and 36,000 is IGST. But it is not a full amount of tax we have to pay. We have to pay the tax to the government after deducting our purchase tax, that is known as input tax. Input tax. Come to input tax on intra-state purchase. As per the question, we have intra-state purchase of 4 lakh and the tax will be 9%. C, 9% as become 36,000 rupees, and we have no IGST on this particular input tax. Next, we have interstate purchase of rupees 50,000. On this particular, we have no CGST, no SGST, but we have rupees 9,000 as the IGST. So, in this way, we have the tax liability, gross tax liability of this particular dealer. 54 minus 36, it is 18,000. Next is again 54 minus 36, 18,000, and the last is 36 minus 9, 27,000. It means this dealer has to pay CGST 18,000, SGST 18,000 and the IGST 27,000. I think it is the gross tax liability, not a net tax liability. The reason is we have also the input tax brought forward from the previous year that we have to deduct, like 18,000 minus 15,000, 18,000 minus 35,000, 27,000 minus 20,000, it become net tax liability 3,000, 17,000 negative and 7,000. 3,000 is positive, 7,000 is positive and 17,000 is negative. What is the meaning of this plus, minus or negative or positive signs? That is very easy. 3,000 we have to pay to the government for CGST, 7,000 we have to pay to the government as IGST, but in case of SGST, we have to pay to the government, no, we have to recover from government 17,000 rupees. So, 17,000 is the refund we have to get from government. It is related with SGST 17,000 and 3,000 we have to pay for CGST and 7,000 we have to pay for IGST. Now, can we use this 17,000 credit for the payment of other tax? Yes, this 17,000 belongs to SGST. As per rule, these 17,000 belongs to SGST, as per rule, we can use this 17,000 credit for the payment of IGST only. So, here I am going to use this 17,000 amount for the payment of this IGST. So, IGST will become nil and we have 17,000 negative plus 17,000. Yes, minus 17,000 plus 7,000, it will become minus 10,000, but CGST will remain same, CGST will remain same. The reason is we cannot utilize SGST for the payment of CGST. So, here we have our final answer. We have to pay to the government 3,000 for CGST, 10,000 we have to recover, we have to get refund from government for SGST, and IGST liability is nil. That is final answer after adjustment of available ITC. It is known as net GST payable. Dear student, I think now you are able to understand the concept of input tax credit for the payment of net GST liability. Now, you can easily calculate the net GST liability for the calculation of GST on goods and services. Thank you. That's it.